Mesa. People in Mexico are divided based on monetary power and control, status, and authority. These divisions are called social classes. The most recent study was made last year in 2014, where it came out that Mexico is divided into 6 social classes, which are low class, which represents 35% of the Mexican population. The people that belong to this social class are employees, immigrants, and people without jobs. Low-high class, which represents 25% of the Mexican population. The people that belong to this social class are peasants and workers. Medium-low class, which represents 20% of the Mexican population. The people that belong to this social class are black-coated workers and skilled artisans. Medium-high class, which represents 14% of the Mexican population. The people that belong to this social class are businessmen and professionals. High-low class, which represents 5% of the Mexican population. The people that belong to this social class are from rich families from past generations. And finally, we have the high class, which only represents 1% of the Mexican population. The people that belong to this social class are rich families from past generations which have conserved their status. According to a study from INEGI, there are 3 main social classes. With a 1.7%, we have the high class. Then, with a 39.2%, we have the medium class, leaving us with a 59.1% in the low class. With these percentages, it's really sad to see how Mexico's major social class is low class, which is a synonym of poverty. Poverty, guys, an extremely serious problem that we have to end. Now, poverty is not only a problem there in Mexico. Poverty is a worldwide problem, which is huge and really alarming. A problem we have back there in Mexico is that people, instead of helping each other to get out of poverty, rich people make themselves even richer, and poor people are getting poorer. The problem with this categorization of people is that the high class possess almost all of the rights. Meanwhile, poor people get almost none of them. So, in other words, money means power, and power means priority over social decisions. One of the most unjust things in terms of poverty in Mexico is the state of economy, since the majority of the people suffers from economic pain, mostly due to the government's mismanagement of the economy. Right now, Mexico is passing through an economic crisis. There are no jobs. It's way more difficult to find a job. They pay less and you have to work more hours, which is not worth it. Living in a border city gives us the privilege to have access to 2 completely different cultures. We hear about your problems, your accomplishments, and your social movements as much as we do in Mexico. Your fight to a minimum wage. The minimum wage in California is $9 per hour. That's an equivalent to 149 pesos. According to SAT, Servicio de Administración Tributaria, the National Commission of Minimum Wages established on March 30 of 2015 that depending on their geographical location, the minimum salary would be of 70 pesos for Group A and 68.28 pesos for Group B, which is around $4.26. With that amount of money, a family has to survive a day. And we're talking about a family up to 4 or more members, which work really hard and live in really tiny and cramped rooms. These people live in the rural areas, where the children have no schools for education, no hospitals nearby to attend if they get sick, no nothing. These children grow working really hard with their parents. These people's profession is agriculture, and they have to work really hard and collect numberless amounts of boxes. Everybody grows up hearing about economy and poverty. Finish your food because there are kids in Africa who have none. Or be grateful you go to school because there are kids in Asia who have to go to work. But we don't have to go to the other side of the world to figure out that there are people living in this condition. Over 53 million of the people live below the poverty line in Mexico, and yet the richest man in the world is Mexican. Mexico is a country of connections, a country of contrast. The families who hold most of the wealth are the same who did 200 years ago.
and the rest of the population struggles to make ends meet. 10% of the population holds a 38% of the country's income.
We are all born with the hopes of becoming whoever we want to become. But what happens when this road is blocked away? And you just don't have the same opportunities just because you were born to the right family, you don't have the right connections, or just because, well, you don't have the same opportunities.
We often hear people telling us that we are the future of the world.
We are the future of our country.
We are the future of Mexico. And yet, they talk about the future as if we didn't exist in the present. We're standing here today with a message, a cry for justice and equality, because we believe that when this message becomes a priority, we'll be able to see a change. We are the future of Mexico, and we are outraged. This is our priority, and we believe that we can unblock the roads and build this bridge. Thank you for your attention.
Los comentarios de